Why does the world live in constant unrest? Why do people, nations, and those in power seem unable to find true peace? The second psalm opens with a profound question that crosses time and remains deeply relevant today. It presents humanity as restless, filled with plans, arguments, and ambitions that may feel important in the moment, yet prove fragile and temporary. The psalm describes nations in turmoil and peoples plotting empty things. Leaders unite with a shared intention to reject any authority above themselves. This is not only a political or historical scene, it is a reflection of the human heart. Throughout history, humanity has struggled with the idea of accountability. It desires freedom, yet often confuses freedom with the complete absence of limits. The image is clear. The world seeks to break its restraints and cast off anything that reminds it of order, truth, or higher authority. But while there is noise, pride, and confusion on earth, the psalm shifts our attention upward. It shows God observing from above, not with fear or urgency, but with absolute calm and sovereignty. God does not react as humans do. He does not panic or feel threatened by chaos. He remains steady, fully aware that human plans raised against truth cannot endure forever. This part of the psalm reminds us of something essential. Even when the world appears out of control, it is not. There is a higher perspective that sees the full picture. The psalm then becomes even more decisive. God declares that His purpose is already established, that His king has been set in place, and that no human rebellion can overturn this reality. Here we encounter a truth that challenges human pride. Not everything revolves around us. There are purposes and plans that exist beyond our understanding. The king described in the psalm receives authority, inheritance, and dominion, not because power was seized by force, but because it was granted. This directly opposes the world's logic, where authority is often obtained through control, manipulation, or violence. In this psalm, authority flows from purpose and divine will. The psalm also speaks of consequences, not from cruelty, but from justice. Continually rejecting truth, living in arrogance, and closing the heart to wisdom carries a cost. Anything built without a solid foundation will eventually collapse, not because God delights in punishment, but because it is the natural outcome of walking away from what is good and true. Yet the closing tone of the second psalm is not condemnation, but invitation. It addresses rulers and leaders, but also every listener. It calls for spiritual wisdom, urging us to recognize that we are not self-sufficient and that true strength is rooted in humility. The final words of the psalm are deeply hopeful. After speaking of power, authority, and warning, it ends with a clear promise. Blessed, fulfilled, and secure are all who place their trust in God, not those who believe they control everything, but those who acknowledge their need for guidance and direction. The application to our lives is simple yet powerful. In a world that constantly pushes us toward ego and self-reliance, the second psalm invites us to pause and ask honestly, where are my decisions coming from? Pride, fear, or trust in God? Recognizing His authority does not remove freedom. It gives stability, meaning, and peace. If this reflection spoke to you, you'll find a link in the description with special religious details you may appreciate. Supporting them also helps this channel continue sharing messages like this one. Thank you for being here. We'll continue with the next psalm.